let's go ahead and get this started. What's going on, YouTube? I'm currently hanging out with Twitch, so make sure if you want to be part of these things live, check out twitch.tv/ClarkHellScream. And let's just go ahead and jump right into it. There's going to be no particular order, except we're going to start with the Rogue one, because the Rogue one is the only one where I need this tab, and I can close out the tab when I'm done. Alright, so the funny thing about the Rogue one is that you can't look up Titan and find it, but let's just go ahead and look at its abilities. This minion's abilities repeat on one other friendly minion. But what exactly are the abilities? +2, +1, deal 4 damage to a random enemy. +1, +2, draw a card. And maximum defenses, which is +3, can't be targeted by hero spells. Yeah. I think this is gonna be terrible. I don't think we really need to talk this much about how bad these effects are compared to everything else, because we haven't even looked at all the other effects now. But yeah, this is just straight up D, bro. This is just straight up D. Like, this is just the worst. This has got to be the worst one. The only thing that I will use to defend this is that maybe there's a way to play, like, Frequency Oscillator, where you can discount your mech, and then you can coin this out by turn 4. And maybe if you, like, deal 4 and, you know, buff up the mechs, maybe it can somewhat be good. By the next time, you know, it survives, you can give it +1, +2. Like, and yeah, why would you bounce this? Like, you could play Bounce Around with this card, but then you have to spend 6 mana, probably have to put Prep and Bone in the same turn, then Bounce Around, then do this again for what, another deal 4? Like, I kind of see what they're trying to push with this, you know? This is the aggro version of the effect. You have attrition effect, and then you have a defensive effect. Except when you compare these abilities to everything else, I just don't see it. So I think that this card is a safe D tier. There's just no other way to describe it. Now let's go to the Primus, because this is actually one that I'm really excited for. Alright, this one I am really excited for one of the abilities, but let's go over it. 7 mana, 6/7 Titan. After this uses an ability, discover a card with that rune. So you can find a Blood Rune, which destroys an enemy minion. This minion and your hero gain its health. You have Runes of the Unholy. Summon 2 3/3 undeads with Taunt and Reborn. Pretty good defensive move. And then you have Runes of Frost. The next spell you cast costs 3 less and becomes +3 spell damage. Let me tell you what I'm thinking about with this card. Primus is good, but a bit too expensive. So here's how I envision this card. There's, like, a thing I want to do in Rainbow Death Knight, okay? I want to be able to play Queen, okay? Get the ring. Then, if I have a Climactic Necrotic Explosion ready to go, I can play Primus, give it +3 spell damage. It reduces itself in cost, so that way I can play double necrotic Climactic Explosion. That sounds awesome to me. Now, if we get cards that can actually spend corpses that opens up this possibility, there might be a real chance for Rainbow Death Knight being a thing. But outside of, like, the coolest thing that we can do in, like, you know, Christmas Wonderland meme world, one other thing I'm just thinking about, just literally destroy a minion and gain health. This is really good in Blood DK. This is just a really good effect in every single deck. You know, and you can kind of, like, you know, depending on what build you're going for, this card can support many different builds. If you just need minions and corpse counters, then you can just play minions. If you want to go for, like, removal, you have removal. And you also get to discover a card while doing this. This is just a good attrition resource. So with all of this in mind, this is at least an A tier. This is at least an A tier, dude. Like, I don't think it's S, because I think there's better cards, but this is one of the best Titans in my opinion. And I'm also a Death Knight person, so I really want this card to be good. Titans that destroy other Titans are above average. Yes, there's also that. The next one is the Warlock one. I don't know about you guys, but Zeddy started a campaign specifically with this card, and I think Tice also did something similar, where they both chose this card, and this is what I chose for my Vote the Titan, and I kind of wish I didn't go for that, in all honesty. Because I would have voted for the Druid card. And we'll do the Druid card next. Saegeras is my president, by the way. Well, he might be a really good card, because Battlecry, open a portal that summons 2 3/2 imps each turn. The Twisting Nether. So, it summons a portal that you can't interact with. You can't silence it over the opponent. You can't Twisting Nether it, destroy it off the field. It is there for the rest of the game. But you have a couple of abilities. You can send all minions into the Twisting Nether. And the way this works is that it's like a poof, meaning it's gone. It's gone. Death Rattles don't trigger. There's Inferno, where you summon 2 6/6 Infernals. You summon them from the Twisting Nether. There's Legion Invasion, where your future demons summoned get +2 health and taunt. Now we're like, there's a lot of different ways to analyze this card. Saegeras was chosen because he's the most famous Titan. Bro, looking like that, I'm not surprised. I hate to say this, though, but I'm putting him in the B tier. Currently, with what we have, Warlock getting to turn 9 is super difficult. So, like, you can be able to play this as, like, an instant AoE where, like, you destroy everything else. Because, like, it send all other minions into the Twisting Nether, right? So that won't destroy the Saegeras. So with that in mind, you can play this. He's suddenly a 6/12 that you have to clear immediately. But a lot of decks have ways of being able to kill him off, you know? However, that's going to be the first thing that you do, right? If it survives, then you probably are going to do the future demons get, you know, +2 health and taunt. So that way you're summoning 3/4s at least. And if you need to, then you can also summon more tempo. I doubt, like, this will ever get played, though. Summoning 2 6/6s doesn't make a lot of sense, in my opinion. But these two are really good, depending on when you can time them. Are imps every single turn really going to win the game? I would argue not. They should make a Hearthstone movie in the future. Remember the Titans? The 6/6s get buffed. I mean, they do get buffed, I'm aware of that, but you can only do this once. You can only do this once, so this is always going to be, like, the last thing you do, right? Like, it is a lot of stats all in one turn, but if they don't have taunt, then it really doesn't make that much of a difference. I might be under-evaluating this card a little bit, but I still think it's just safe to put it at the B tier. The next one is the Mage one. Okay, the Mage one. Norgannon. I'm just going to call him Ganon for short. You know, he's Ganondorf. After this uses an ability, double the power of the other abilities. So you have deal 5 damage. Enemy cards cost 1 more. And it literally disappeared while I was looking at it. Wow, dude, this is hilarious. And then cast 1 random Mage secret. Obviously, the potential of dealing 20 damage with this card is pretty nutty. However, in order for you to even get any value out of this card, it needs to stick for 2 turns. That is really hard to do in Mage. One thing I do kind of like about this is that it gives us reasons to play the 8-mana card Arcane Defenders. It's an S tier for you? Wow. What about you guys? What does everyone else think about this card? The issue with Mage is that Titans won't likely live a turn. Norg needs to live to be good. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, 6 mana to cast a random secret. Don't really care about that. We have Ancient Power, which is pretty good, though. Like, enemy cards, it's not just minions, it's not just spells, it's actually cards. So you might start with this in order to try and defend it. And then you, like, stick it behind, like, an Arcane Defenders. Maybe cast 2 secrets, and then you can maybe deal the 20 damage, but this is really weird. I would argue C tier. It's not, like, the Warlock card has more capabilities for what Warlock wants to do. Mage really doesn't get a whole lot from this card immediately, so you have to be able to defend it, which means you got to build your deck around it. And I just don't envision the 20 damage happening. Wait, Battleground Battlemaster plus Whirling Tempest? Insta 20? I don't even know what Whirling Tempest is. Oh, wait, your minions have Wind Fury and Mega Wind Fury? Wait. Oh, wait, you're right. If Titans have Wind Fury, they can cast their abilities twice. Wait a minute, this card in Wild might actually be insane then. Because think, oh my god, I see it now. You play Luna's Pocket Galaxy, you make all these cards cost 1 mana, you play the Titan, you faceless it, and then you literally just play Whirling Tempest, and that's an insta 40 damage. Ha! We already have had this confirmed. Because the way that it works is that it does something instead of attacking. Wait a minute. Okay, in Wild, the stonks go up, but in Standard, there's no way to give Mage minions Wind Fury. Also, oh wait, how it works with Reverberations. Well, the way that it would work with Reverberations, like, say you cast the first one, then you play Reverberations. That is okay. It's not gonna change where he is on the list because we're doing Standard, not Wild. But oh my god, dude, that actually is like really insane. That might change how we use this card. Maybe it's a B, but it'll be at the top of the C tier. All right. What about the Warrior one? Let's check out the Warrior card. There's a lot of conversation, you know, surrounding this card right now. So we have the 6-mana 4/4 Titan. After this uses an ability, gain immune this turn and attack a random enemy minion. I think this card is better than people are leading on, but it's definitely the weakest Titan in terms of, like, cool abilities and like flashy stuff, right? Its abilities are gain +2/+2, draw a weapon, so it becomes a 6/6 which attacks an enemy or enemy minion, not enemy. You have gain +5 attack, give your hero +5 attack this turn as well. So it becomes a deal 9, deal 5, and then Heart of Flame, +5 health and +5 armor. The reason why this card is lackluster is because you either have you have 3 ways of looking at it. If you want to keep this card on the field, you have to play this one first, right? It becomes a 4/9. And then it also removes something, hopefully. So maybe you can keep yourself ahead. Kaz is plain, but has a decent utility. I don't even know if he has, utility. If you want him to stick, you do this first. And then you probably will give him attack, so that way he's a 9/9. So he's even harder to kill going into the next turn. You also give your hero 5 attacks, so you could keep him on the field. And then, use your hero to, deal some more damage and, clear the board. And then you have, gain +2/+2, draw a weapon, which feels like the weaker ability. But depending on what weapon you slot into the deck, maybe this isn't that bad. What if you have, an Arcanite Reaper type card? You just draw the weapon, and then suddenly you have all this damage going to the face, and then you can, play the weapon, give it +5 attack. I don't know, though. This is a card that's really dependent on, what weapons are in the deck. And how often is Control Warrior or Warrior in general going to be leading the board by turn 6, turn 7? He doesn't give the weapon stats, no. He does not give the weapon stats. But I believe that if it was, gain +2, draw a weapon, and then give it +2/+2, dude, that's insane. Giving 2 durability as well as 2 attack, that's insane. Imagine the Pitchfork that could also gain +4 attack. No, it shouldn't be because it'd be too broken. It would be absolutely broken. It becomes an 8/4 weapon in the best possible situation. That is way too good. Too bad they can't attack until they lose all skills, so enemies have 2 extra turns before these cards can be a real threat. Top end for aggro lets you clear a minion, then hit face for 5. And I feel like that's going to be the way this card gets utilized, just as an aggro tool. It gain +5 immediately, and you also remove a minion while it's in play. But it is definitely, it's damn near in D tier with Rogue. I feel like everyone is making this comment, though, where, this card is just going to be weak compared to everything else, because it's not flashy, it's not that swingy, and it just feels like it's not really adding to what, Warrior decks are already doing. Enraged Warrior doesn't care about it. Maybe there's an Aggro Warrior that we can make with this, but I just don't envision it being that good. Alright, what's next? The Shaman! What is the Shaman one? The Shaman one is sick, dude. This card is amazing. The reason why this card is amazing is because you automatically get to cast an ability, and you can cast a spell with it in the same turn. So, you play this and play, a Lightning Storm or something to completely wipe out the field in some cases. And then you get to keep your 5/7 minions somewhat healthy. Not to mention, its abilities are insane. Roaring Oceans deal 3 damage to all enemies and restore 6 health to all friendly characters. It's like Stormbringer Brakan automatically triggering 2 abilities, but it's cheaper, and it actually has more AoE, so that's something. It just doesn't gain you 5 armor. You have Lure of the Skies, which deals 20 damage to a minion. This is just such a funny number to see. And then you have draw 3 Overload cards. I'm not gonna lie. Dealing 20 damage, it's not good, alright? It's not good. It is essentially kill a minion. But then, the draw 3 Overload cards, though, could be really powerful. Where it's case in point, what if I'm trying to find the Lightning Storm? I can instantly draw into the Lightning Storm and then clear the board, and then hopefully, going into the next turn, I can utilize another Overload card. Something else that I would really like to see with this is if there's a possibility of, this card sticking, and then maybe this goes in, Overload Rag Shaman. Because, something that you can do is you can draw your Jive Insect, play it for 2 mana. So you can play this, use Jive Insect on, a totem or something, and then you have an 8/8 Rag already on the field. And then maybe you draw into your criminal lineup, and you can set it up for the next turn. Granted, that's not an OTK, and yeah, the Rag could die, but I'm just saying that this is support for the deck that it kind of needs. Because you have ways of being able to consistently draw your cards. And if you have a card like Queen in the deck, then your Ring can become a 1-mana copy of the Jive Insect, and then you could do that. Clear all the little guys, or 1 big guy, refill the hand, super flexible. With Enchanter, it can also deal 40. This costs the same as the Warrior Titan, I know, right? It just has so much more value. It's insane in Overload Shaman just for the card and the AoE. I know, right? The card draw is just insane. So with that in mind, I think we have our first S tier. I think this card is going to be really good. It's just a matter of whether or not Shaman is going to be really good. This is 100% an S tier card because it just does so much. It has Cycle, It has single target removal. It has AoE, as well as healing. And there's a possibility that you could play another card with it. Absolutely insane. S tier card for sure. Now, my favorite. I am just going to say this right now. If I make a deck with this card, I am calling it Mommy Druid. Okay? Because this card is Mommy. I am going to try my hardest in order to make a Druid deck that actually uses this, and I'm going to coin the deck Mommy Druid, okay? Spontaneous growth, draw until your hand is full, restore your hero to full health, that is just a Mommy ability right there, dude. And refresh your mana crystals. I don't know if there's a way in Standard to make this card oh, wait a minute, wait, no, Thaddeus! Oh my god, Thaddeus. Oh my god, imagine a Thaddeus combo with this. Oh, dude. That's one way that you can refresh your mana crystals and get a lot of value. But how feasible is that going to be? Probably not very. And I'm not going to lie, this might be the reason why Druid got hit with the nerfs. Like, Womper going up one more mana doesn't stop the deck, but it still makes it possible. But still, just imagine this in Thaddeus Druid today. Yeah, she could be one with Thaddeus. I don't know if there's other ways of discounting. But if you could somehow, like, refresh your mana crystals and do, like, a combo with this, because after you use an ability, you get a 5/5 with taunt, so you have ways of defending it. Refill mana, cover art. Oh my god, cover artist. Cover artist. Oh my god, cover artist. But regardless, the fact that Druid has a Reno effect automatically puts this in S tier for me. Alright? It is an S tier card, it's just whether or not Druid is going to be able to utilize this card. And let's not even think about the capabilities in Wild. In Wild, oh my god, yeah. It is insane to think about this card in Wild. Druid is already unga bunga ridiculous in Wild, but this is just an amazing ability. Having Reno as a possibility, GG, dude. When you copy a Titan, the state of its abilities is preserved. For example, you play, if you use its Flourish ability to refresh your mana crystals, then face its Manipulator, the copy will also have the same ability, Flourish Exhausted. The new copy will still be able to... Oh, you can still act on the same turn? That doesn't make sense, though. Wait a minute. Wait, no, maybe that does work. Because if you attack with a charge minion, copy it, you can still attack with it. That actually does work. Yeah, you're right. That does make sense. So Cover Artist would actually work, then. Charge is a passive effect. That is true. If that's the case, then Mage can use Reverberation and do interesting things. Yes. So that... Oh my god, wait a minute. Maybe the Mage card is a B, then. Because of that... Just because of that possibility. I'm actually going to move this up to B tier now. It's no longer in C. It's actually no longer in C now that we know this interaction. Oh my god, that is busted, dude. That's like actually just busted. The next one is the Demon Hunter one. This card, oh my god, so many people are rating this card super good. But minions to the left have Rush, and the ones to the right have Lifesteal. This card is literally a Tavern Brawl on a stick, so whenever you guys see Tavern Brawls, always understand that they're using that as like a testing ground. Tavern Brawls can give us an idea of what's to come in the future. But what are this guy's abilities? You have Crystal Carving, discover a Death Rattle minion, it costs 3 less, so think about Reconnaissance. Reconnaissance was always a good card. Except you're only discovering from your own pool. Reduce the cost of all minions in your hand by 2. Can anyone say Il'gynoth? Can you say Il'gynoth in Wild? And then you have summon 4 2/2s elementals with taunt, and the way that it works is that it places 2 on each side. So you have ones with Rush and ones with Lifesteal. This is just like an extremely interesting card. And if I'm looking at this correctly, does he have the Scythe? He has the legendary Scythe, the Soul Eater Scythe. How to judge this card though in Standard? Like, I don't know how this would be busted, but the fact that you can reduce all minions by 2, how do we break this in Standard? Because Demon Hunter already has like a lot of ways of being able to tempo and take over the game by turn 7. What do we even want to discount? Because, like, you could discount Silvermoon Arcanist. Sure, it goes to 1 mana, but we're already doing that. You can discount, Cover Artist, if we want to do Cover Artist shenanigans. But that really doesn't make a lot of sense in this particular one, because, like, it's not like you want to do this and then immediately discover a Death Rattle. These kind of abilities don't really synchronize, or they don't really synergize. And you definitely wouldn't run this in Spell Demon Hunter, getting the extra minions. It's very minion-focused, but I just don't know what this fits in. It'll have a new archetype. But that's actually the question that I'm asking. Like, what does this go into where we want to discount minions? I don't think we're going to be able to solve this until we get all of the cards. 1 mana, 2 mana, Halaveria, give it Rush. Okay, I could see that. 2 mana, Halaveria. We're already making 2 mana Halaverias, though, in Outcast. So it's like, I feel like the way this card is going to get utilized is that you summon a bunch of minions with it, and if the minions survive, then you can go for like a Hellevaria out, you know? Like, Outcast Demon Hunter, the 30th card, this would be the 30th card. You know, a 7-mana boss card damn near. You could maybe make 0-mana Hellevarias. There's Felon Flames, but I don't really know if Felon Flames really works with this card. But I mean, something to keep in mind though is that you do summon Rushers. And every single minion you play is a Rush card. That's pretty powerful. Maybe there's like a... Wait a minute. What if it's Lady Setheno and a Hellevaria? But then you're discounting your minions, but you're not discounting spells. It's just a worse spell Demon Hunter. It's pretty interesting though. You can make a 1-mana Lady and a 2-mana Hellevaria, and every single time it attacks, it'll boost itself up even more. Maybe that's just the way to do this, but regardless, I want to put this card at the highest A tier. Only because I don't know what this is going to really be utilized in, but it might just be a thing where it's like people may not run this card in Demon Hunter decks outside of just the taunts and like the 2/2s because it summons a board. It's like a board on a stick damn near. The Paladin card, and this is probably my favorite one, but I don't think it's the most powerful one. And there's only one reason why I like this ability. Alright? Taunt, your minions can't take more than 2 damage at a time. This is probably going to be the Titan that can trigger most of its abilities compared to all of the other ones. So what are its abilities? It's got Reinforce, where you draw two minions, set their attack, health, and cost to 2. This is such a cool ability. This is easily why it's my favorite ability. There's Empowered, give your other minions +2/+2, and then you have Pacified, which sets the attack and health of all enemy minions to 2. This is giving me such, like, Tarim, Sunkeeper Tarim vibes that I can't help but fall in love with it. This not having one more attack is really sad. I guarantee you this probably started out as a 2/8, but if you literally have this as, you know, a taunt minion, and then you make everything into a 2/2, and it can only take 2 damage, bro, that's killing 4 minions guaranteed. It needs to be a 1/8 because it would actually be obscenely powerful as a 2/8, as infuriating as it is to see as a 1/8. And I'm pretty sure this is the very first time we've ever seen a 1/8 stat line. The first thing that comes to mind with this is just Tony Jailer. We now have like a Tony Jailer combo that we can do by turn 8 in Paladin, but I'm really not sure how consistent that's gonna be. It might be super consistent. It might just be, you know, Tony Warrior all over again, where it's like, oh my god, this is so easy to do. But as Lieutenant always says, it's always a good time for Tarim. Tarim was just one of the best cards in Hearthstone history, dude. Can be resummoned by tier. Yeah, and it also can be resummoned. So that's a big deal. But yeah, resurrect a 2, 3, and 4 attack Paladin minion. Oh, wait a minute. So this is another reason why we can't put it at 2. So yeah, never mind. You can't resummon it. But imagine if you bring this, like, if you have this card for like 2 mana and there's like a combo that centers around this. It would be kind of cool. But I have no idea what 2, 3, and 4 attack Paladin minions we want to bring back. But regardless, this is just an S tier card. I'm putting it at the bottom of S tier because I'm not sure what exactly this is going to go into, but the fact that this has a Tarim-like ability automatically puts it in S tier. Tarim was one of the best cards for Paladin. It just simply was. It was a removal tool, a tempo tool, and an aggro tool, actually. So, like, it just worked in every single regard. And even if you just played Tarim by itself against 3 minions, like, half the time people just trade the minions away. So, it's automatically super good in that regard. Aman'Thul, 7 mana, 3/10, Titan. After this uses an ability, discover any legendary minion. So, Professor Paletris, or Confessor Paletris is what this is really reminding me of. I'm actually super concerned about this card in particular, because with Power Chords Synchronize, we are going to see this card a lot. Finding a random legendary minion is probably not that good, but it's just literally another resource. It's just another resource that you can high roll, and I can't even think of all the legendaries that are really good. But it says discover any legendary minion, meaning that you can find other class legendaries, but it's not limited to only class cards. It could be neutrals, or it can be class cards. And then when you look at what it could do, choose a non-Titan minion, summon a copy of it with +2/+2, so steal a taunt, and make it better. And then, and then there's this one. Oh my god, this ability is so damn good. Oh, I forgot how good these abilities were. Oh, this is just insta-S, isn't it? Choose 2 enemy minions, remove them from the game. You can't discover Titans, but the fact that you have identity theft kind of invalidates that. You can find it off of identity theft, and that's just busted in my opinion. That's just a powerful effect no matter how you look at it. You can coin this on turn 6. You get a legendary minion, and then you get to remove 2 big minions from your opponent. This is so good. Does Priest really need more single target removal? 1 mana kill a minion, and now they just have 7 mana remove minions, so you can't even, like, bring them back. Like, imagine if, you know, Resurrect Paladin becomes a thing. Yoink, it's gone. And again, you can make extra copies of this. So it's like, you have Love Everlasting equipped, you play this, you automatically give yourself another copy, it increases its stats, and it also removes 2 minions from the game, and then going into the next turn, you can do that again. Like, this card is getting instantly nerfed. This card is getting instantly nerfed. This might actually take the top of S tier. And then who even cares about this one? Summon a random 6-drop, give it taunt and lifesteal, which is also insane! Like, you get to hide it behind a taunt. If your opponent can't deal with the taunt, then they can't deal with this minion. And then you get to activate the other effect. Like, can we just blah, blah. S tier immediately. S tier immediately, dude. Like, oh my god. This is just literally the best card. This actually might be the best Titan, and the fact that Priest is getting it makes me so angry. The Hunter one. How do you pronounce this? Aggramar? Aggramar the Avenger. Honestly, like, this looks very similar to that Titan in Rick and Morty that Rick's ship actually killed. It has, like, the same, like, thingy on his head or whatever. So, equip a 3/3 weapon. That's all it is, just a 3/3 weapon. It looks like Ashbringer, damn near. Maintain order after your, give your weapon after your hero attacks, draw a card. Give your weapon after your hero attacks, summon a 3/3 Enforcer with Taunt. And Swift Slash, give your weapon +2 attack. Your hero is immune while attacking. What Vasia just said, why would we play this over Help a Kelpalos? Like, I really have trouble seeing why Hunter would want a card like this. Because, in my honest opinion, the way this is gonna work is that you instantly make this into a 5/3 weapon. You give it immunity, so that way you can just deal 15 with it. That does seem kind of good. I don't really think we care too much about attacking and then, you know, summoning a 3/3, and maybe after your hero attacks, draw a card. Sure. But it's like, this is always going to be used just to give you a 5/3 weapon. It's like an Arcanite Reaper, but better. And maybe you coin this out on turn 5 as like a Face Hunter, and it could be really good. But the issue is, it's either really good or really bad. Or like, you're playing defensive in like an aggro deck because you have immunity, like, at least you're not taking the damage, but like, I highly doubt this thing is going to get all 3 of its abilities all at once. And by that point, your durability has already gone down. So what, are you going to run an Air Guitarist and Hunter? I highly doubt that. This isn't as bad as the Rogue card, and I swear I'm not just putting it in C because we don't have anything in C. It legitimately seems better than the Warrior and the Rogue card. And you can honestly make this argument. This might be the final list, because this card is just so bad, and these cards actually have, like, application. So I'm gonna go ahead and bump him up. It's actually a B, not gonna lie. Wait, what? I don't think so. I think that this is going to be this is how my tier list is gonna look. Just makes the most amount of sense. Aman'Thul, the Priest card, is being on top while the Voltron is on the bottom. I feel like this isn't really, like, I feel like a lot of people have this same kind of tier list, except maybe they have the Demon Hunter card, like, up here or something. But I feel like this is going to be accurate. Alright? And this is where I'm going to say, YouTube, what do you guys think? Do you think I'm full of copium? Is this actually just an S tier card and I just don't know it? Or is there something that I'm missing? Put some stuff down in the comments below and let me know if you think that this is going to be the way that the Titans are going to be actually played. Because I feel like I was pretty accurate with a lot of my descriptions. Maybe there's a new deck that's going to emerge that breaks every single one of these. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. And, well, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this one, and we'll see you for the next one.